not to love about an amazing bread pudding?
Wow.
And especially when it happens to be bread pudding that is created from Jenny Lee cinnamon swirl breads that have, by the way, from you, we voted them the best bread. I see on the side that there might not be any little icing there, so I wanted to add just a little icing because you know what? More is more, and I'm that kind of girl.
It's
okay,
so good.
so good. Scott Baker is here with me, but I want to share with you that we're bringing you something that's brand new today. Remember when Mary Beth at the top of the show said we've got 19 items in the show and about 16 of them are brand new? Well, this is one of those brand new items, and we cannot wait. I said to the woman in my ear, these are going to fly. This is your choice. You can get 2 of them in the cinnamon or 2 of them in the cinnamon raisin. There is also a combo where you get 1 of each, and what is the them? A 20-ounce tray of the cinnamon swirl bread pudding, winner of best bread, made into bread pudding. You want a now ship date, a November 6th or a December 4th. Scott Baker, 5th generation baker. His family has been baking for a long time. Scott Baker, couple years. We're gonna actually go directly to the video that shows how you make this bread first, because that's the basis for this pudding.
So yeah, I opened the baker. I'm a bread baker. You can see our factory here. We're small batches. We make 384 loaves of bread at a time. It's all natural ingredients. It's old-fashioned style crimped breads. We bake it in an old-fashioned pan that gives it that round shape. There's Dad showing Mikey how to get the swirl inside, the cinnamon swirl. It's just, we pride ourselves in doing things the way my dad, my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather did it. This recipe's been handed down, and that pan gives us that unique shape, that round loaf of bread. And then, of course, the butter bath. That is the butter bath. That's how we get the cinnamon sugar to stick to the outside. You cannot beat the flavor of that outside coating of bread. Well,
that outside coating of bread. The butter bath. Let's talk about the butter bath. Rolled in cinnamon and sugar, or rolled in some amazing concoction.
Exactly.
Then we decide we want to make bread pudding with what bread? That bread.
Well, we've been here telling people, you can use our cinnamon swirl breads to make bread pudding. And every day we're producing bread, we come up with a misfit or something that gets a little bit torn in the slicer, or something that's just not perfect to send to the customers, but still perfectly edible. So we decided to upcycle those misfits and make our own bread pudding.
So how did you do it? How did you make this bread pudding?
Well, first of all, I dusted off probably about a 100-year-old machine. It's an old-fashioned cuber. So the bread is sliced and processed just as we do all the loaves that we normally sell, but then we stick them through the cuber, and it comes up with these, you can see these little cubes in there. It's about 120 loaves to a batch, and in that batch we make a custard. Basically, it's not a cooked custard because it's going to cook as it bakes in the oven, but it's milk and eggs and more butter and brown sugar and cinnamon and vanilla and all those wonderful flavors you taste in every great bread pudding.
Because one of them is cinnamon. 500 of these have been spoken for, and I'm sorry, Jen, how many did you say are available? Only 1,300 are available, or less actually in each. So you start with a cinnamon bread on one of them. Tell us, we saw the video of this bread.
Right.
This is what the base is. The base is this.
Yes,
tell us about this.
Exactly. That's our #1 seller. Really, the key to that is just the best cinnamon we can find. We source our cinnamon from a company in New Jersey that actually gets the cinnamon sticks here from Indonesia and Vietnam, grinds them here in the United States so that we can trust that process. We know we're getting a good, clean cinnamon, and it's just the best cinnamon that we can find.
And then
anywhere.
Your other choice is cinnamon raisin. Remember, there's a combo because I love a combo, but here's the cinnamon raisin. So tell us about the cinnamon raisin.
Yeah, cinnamon raisin. Just going back to our promise to always buy the best ingredients. We find the best raisins out of California. So we buy California raisins, the big, juicy, plump Thompson raisin size.
And then you've got that. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to make are we making a serving for somebody? So here it is. What's your recommendation?
Right, yes.
Here we go.
Yep, here's the...
there we go. I guess I'm going to put a little serving in here.
Right. This is about 10 servings. It's 20 ounce. It's a really rich, delicious, but to take it up a notch, you're going to have dinner on Christmas. Put this bread pudding in the microwave for a couple seconds. Scoop of icing on top, or ice cream. Look at that. some caramel sauce.
No, you did not.
Oh,
you did
yeah.
not do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm
There you
just going
go.
to hand this to Mary Beth.
Oh, yes, please.
We made
Yes,
it for you.
please.
We made it for you.
Yeah.
Scott, I gotta tell
So,
you, your
holy
breads
buckets.
are amazing.
Thank
They
you,
are.
Mary
But
Beth.
you know what? When I grew up, it was bread pudding that people
Right.
would make for desserts because, you know, when you were calling them little misfits,
Yeah.
a lot of times it was those pieces of bread that were left over that our moms would
Sure.
cube up and then, you know, put the milk and the butter and the sugar and all
Right.
that in there. But to have your breads
Your
like
bread.
this,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, amazing.
Well, you know, in times
Hold
gone
this.
past,
I'm gonna put some ice cream on it.
back,
Yep.
you know, in the early days,
Yep.
there was nothing was wasted.
Oh, my
You saved
goodness.
every part of the bread, even if it got a little bit stale. You saved it. You made bread pudding. That's how you could
That's right.
reconstitute and enjoy something delicious.
Yes, exactly.
This ice cream isn't wanting to cooperate. But anyway,
know-
it's going to cooperate.
This
Sooner or
can
later.
I just have to tell you,
I think that'll.
there's a hotel
Maybe not.
far from here
Yeah.
that makes what I thought was the best bread pudding anybody could make. This rivals that.
Yeah.
Aw,
and
thank
I'm
you.
telling you, it's so good. And what
Here's
do I
some.
have to do when I buy this and I get it home?
Oh, so
I
that's the
pop it in
beauty.
the oven?
Yeah.
You know what? It comes fully baked.
Okay.
It's actually going to come to you ambient. We tested it. We had laboratory testing that it stands up on your counter. It will last longer under refrigeration. So
Okay.
I would get it home, put it in the refrigerator. It's going to last you a month. If you let it last that long, you're going to eat it sooner than that.
Exactly,
But
unless you taste it.
Let me remind you, 1,000 of these have been spoken for. You get the bread, and you also get 2 of the little creams that come with.
Right, a little vanilla
Vanilla
icing.
icing. Thank you. Looking for my words.
Actually, I didn't have any icing on mine,
Yeah.
so
Put some
I'll
icing
just
on there.
add
It's so
a little
good.
bit.
Or
cinnamon or the cinnamon raisin, or there's cinnamon raisin is most popular. There is a combo where you get one of each. Each one of these is 20 ounces. Each one of these serving 10 people, so you can get 20 servings, those
That's
2-ounce servings.
amazing.
And let's show you what a 2-ounce serving looks like. And by the way, if you want the cinnamon raisin, we have fewer than 200 in each of the ship weeks, and one of them is now November 6th and December 4th, and not much
Wow.
more than that in the other flavors. Remind us again, Scott, like how this bread is different, and maybe it's just the the butter bath.
Yeah, I think it's the
And
butter
that's
bath,
answer.
right?
And remind us, and that's
It's
the
just
answer.
sticking to old-fashioned values,
Yeah.
making sure we use only the finest ingredients. I learned from my dad, so I was taught a process that was handed down for 5 generations, and I just pride myself on being able to continue the family in an industry that feeds the world.
By the way. Yeah, 1,200 of these have been spoken for. You
Wow.
don't need to be shy with the maple syrup. You don't have to be shy with the icing either. And you just heat the icing up a little bit, and then you just pour it on.
I sent a bunch of these around to different friends to taste test, make sure we had the right formula, and a friend used a bourbon sauce.
Ooh.
He didn't cook out all the bourbon, so it tasted extra special.
I bet it did. Look at my icing. Come on, I'm trying to put some icing on. Okay, anyway, it's M92158 is your item number, M92158. Scott Baker, thank you so much for bringing this to
Great
us.
to see
Mary
you.
Beth is up next for the savory, because we just did the sweet.
And Leonetti's is a brand name that is also giving you a recipe that is 100